Alright, so it's time to do what we've been practicing before, right? So we're going to be graphing linear functions using the slope-intercept method. Alright, so you find the slope, you identify the y-intercept, and boom, you graph. So first, let's answer a couple of questions. The first one, state the slope-intercept form of a linear equation. Well, that's easy. Y equals mx plus b. Second one, what letter represents the slope of the line? Now, you tell me, which of these represents the slope? Correct, M. What about the y-intercept? Of course, B. Okay then. Now, what is the slope of the line in the equation y equals 1/2 x minus 3? What is the slope? The slope is always the number that is changing the x. In this case, the x changes by 1/2. In other words, whatever the value of x is, it gets chopped into half by the slope. That's basically what it means. Okay? Now, graphically, it means that you're going to move 1 up and 2 to the right. 1 up and 2 to the right. Okay? So the slope is 1/2. What is the y-intercept of our equation? Well, the y-intercept is not the slope, and it's definitely not x. It's always the loose number when the equation is solved for y. So the y-intercept is -3. Last but not least, state the coordinates of the y-intercept. Right. 0, b. Okay? In this case, it will be 0, -3. Alright then, now we're ready to start graphing. But just in case, if the slope of a line is positive, then it rises to the what? If it's positive, it's gonna go like this. Okay? It's gonna go like this. So it rises to the right. Okay? Up to the right, up to the right. If it's negative, it's gonna what? Rise to the left, like this. To the left. Or it goes down to the right, whichever way you want to do it. Look, down to the right, down to the right. That's negative. Okay? So it rises to the left. Alright, let's move on. Alright, here I'm supposed to graph. Let me give you this. So I'm supposed to graph f equals 1/2 x minus 3. Alright then. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna identify what the slope is. The slope is 1/2. What about the y-intercept? Correct, -3. So now I'm ready to start graphing. So I am going to start at the y-intercept. The y-intercept, what are the coordinates of the y-intercept? 0, whatever the y-intercept is. So in this case, it will be 0, -3. 1, 2, 3. So this is my first point. See that? So now the slope is positive, so I know that it's gonna rise to the right. So it's gonna go up, up to the right, up to the right, up to the right. Okay, it either rises to the right or goes down to the left, but it's gonna be positive. So it's rise over run, so it's gonna be 1 up and 2 to the right. So 1 up and 2 to the right, 1 up and 2 to the right, 1 up and 2 to the right, 1 up and 2 to the right. You see, the smaller the number here, from 0 to infinity, the smaller the number is, the less steep the line is going to be. Anyway, I don't want to just leave this line halfway onto the positives. I want to go onto the negatives. So if I went up to the right, then I can go down to the left, 1 down, 2 to the left, 1 down, 2 to the left. And that's it. Now I trace my line. Ay, 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 ay. Contrale, that's what happens when you don't hold the ruler like a man or with strength. So this is it. This is your line. I don't think I can erase this. Definitely I cannot. But you get the idea of which is the line. Last but not least, you cannot leave the line like that. You need to label it. What is the name of this line? This line is called f of x equals, okay, 1/2 x minus 3. All right? And that's it. That's all you need to know. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, so here I'm supposed to graph the equations, okay, functions that match the letters chosen. So we're gonna graph A in this grid right here, and we're gonna graph B in this grid right here, this coordinate plane. So let's start with A. So what do I know? Well, the first thing that we need to know is identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, sure. So for this line right here, the slope is -2/3. That is what M is. Okay, the y-intercept is what? Tell me. Right, it's 3. Now here the slope again is -2/3, and the y-intercept is -3. Okay, what's the difference? Well, the slopes are the same. That tells me something about the lines. Remember the definition of some questions that I asked you before, and the y-intercepts are different, so the lines are going to start in different points. So let us start. Okay then, let me see. Yeah, kind of visible. Sure. Okay, so the first one, the y-intercept is 3, so I'm going to start at 0,3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is my y-intercept, 0,3, and now I'm gonna follow the slope. The slope is -2/3, meaning that I'm gonna go 2 down and 3 to the right. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the right. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the right. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 to the right. Okay, you see that? And now, of course, I want to go onto the negative side, of the line. All right. So let us do this. So I went 2 down, 3 to the right, so I can go 2 up and 1, 2, 3 to the left. See that? 2 up and 1, 2, 3 to the left. And now just trace my straight line. Okay? See, wasn't that difficult? Boom, 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 boom. Now remember, you need to label your line. So your line's name, the name of your line right here is y equal -2/3 x plus 3. See that? Okay, now let's talk about the second line. The second line has a slope of -2/3, the same slope, but it has a y-intercept of -3. So therefore, my starting point is going to be 0,3. So I'm going to go to my graph and I'm going to go to 0 and then 1, 2, 3. So this is my starting point. The slope is -2/3, meaning what? That I'm going to go 2 down and 1, 2, 3 to the right. 2 down and 1, 2, 3 to the right. Perfect. Now the same way goes to the other side. I need some of the line, part of the line on the negative side. So I'm going to go 2 up and 1, 2, 3 to the right. I mean to the left, sorry. 2 up and 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2 up and 1, 2, 3 to the left, and so on and so forth. And now I'm ready to trace my line. Okay. So I did. Now remember, you gotta label, you gotta name your line. So what is the name of this line? The name of this line is y equals -2/3x minus 3. That's what it is. Okay then, so let's talk about these two lines. What do you notice about these two lines? Fast, quick. Right, they're parallel lines. And how do you know they're parallel lines? Because of the definition that we've been discussing over and over a million times, okay, during the past lessons. Parallel lines are lines that do not intersect and have the same slope. You see, if you say that are lines that do not intersect, you're not saying they're parallel. They could be skewed. Skew lines are lines that don't go like this. They actually go one on top of the other. They will never intersect, but they're not parallel. All right? All right, let's move on to the next function, the next set of functions. So we're gonna go with B. All right, so let me zoom in and let us identify what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. So the slope for this line is what? Yes, it's 3. But for the purposes being, we're gonna say that it's 3/1 because we are going to graph, so we need rise and run. Now, what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is -2. And you know what the coordinates of the y-intercept are, right? 0, comma, whatever. So that's going to be 0, comma, negative 2. Now let's talk about the second equation. So this is a negative, okay? So the slope here is what? Negative 1 over 3. And the y-intercept is nothing more, the y-intercept is nothing more than negative 6. Okay then. So now let us start graphing. So let me graph the first one, okay? So now you know, you have it in your notes, so now let's just go to the grid right here. Okay, so I know that the slope is 3 over 1, and I know that the y-intercept is negative 2. So I'm gonna go to the y-intercept, which is negative 2 right here. See that? And now I'm gonna move rise over run. So 1, 2, 3 up, 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. Okay? And now, well, 3 down and 1 to the left, 3 down and 1 to the left, so just in case. So now let us grab the line. If it's too fast for you, then we need to pause it because I'm still saying the same thing that I've been saying, but you could hear it again. So this line, now let's label the line, okay? What is the name of that line? This line is called y equals 3x, okay, minus 2. Now, why do I need to label it? Well, the same reason that we did before. We have more than one line, so you need the viewer to know which one is which. Okay, now let's move on to the next function. So in the next function, I have a y-intercept of negative 6 and I have a slope of negative 1 over 3. So I am going to go to negative 6, right? To 0, comma, negative 6. 0, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my y-intercept. And now I am going to follow the slope. What was the slope? Negative 1 over 3. What does that mean? Negative means that the line is going to go this way. So negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 rise and 1, 2, 3, okay, to the right. Negative 1 rise and 1, 2, 3 to the right. I need some more, okay? I need some more on my line. Okay, so the same path that I was following, I'm going to follow it in reverse. So instead of going down to the right, I'm gonna go up to the left. You see, it's the same thing. So 1 up, 3 to the left. 1 up, 3 to the left. 1 up, 1, 2, 3 to the left. 1 up and 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I got it. All I gotta do now is trace the line. Okay. The line has been traced. Now, let's analyze this. These two lines right here, what do you think they are? What kind of lines do you think they are? They're not parallel, definitely not. Let me give you a hint. Follow the path of the ruler. What do you think this is? What angle is this? It's a 90-degree angle. Very good. These lines are perpendicular lines. You want to take notes? You write it down. Perpendicular lines. Okay then. So what's up? How do they become perpendicular? Well, think of it this way. The slope of the first line was 3 over 1. The slope of the second line, which is the line perpendicular, right, was negative 1 over 3. 3 over 1, 1 over 3, they're reciprocals. So 3 over 1 and negative 1 over 3 are opposite reciprocals. What do you mean, Becker? Easy. If the slope of one line is 3 over 1, all you gotta do to make it perpendicular, to create the perpendicular line, is flip the fraction and change the sign. Beautiful, right? Alright then. So basically that's how it goes. Okay. Now, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna, okay, now it's your turn. We're gonna go on to the independent practice. So, hello? Hello? Not on the phone? Okay, sorry. That was on the phone and now I'm not on the phone. Anyway, guys. So what you're going to do is identify the slope and the y-intercept, then write an equation that represents the line in the slope-intercept form. Alright, cool then. So you've seen this before, okay, on the predicted. So let us identify the slope. So this is a nice point and this is a nice point. So I want to see how I move from this point to this point. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. 5 up and 3 to the right. Up is positive, so the slope is 5 over 3. Now let me calculate the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is -1. So then my equation should be y equals mx. M is the slope, so 5 over 3, and then the x is always there automatically. And then the y-intercept is -1. That was something in the kitchen, never mind. Okay, so you answered these questions. Does having a slope of 2 over 5 means 2 up and 5 to the right? Of course it does. Does having a slope of 2 over 5 means 2 down and 5 to the left? 5 seconds. Of course it does. It's the same thing. Up to the right is the same thing as down to the left. Okay then. Write an equation of this line. Sure. First, let's find the slope. So how do I go from this point to this point? I know the slope is going to be positive because it's moving up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 over 6. 4 over 6. That's the slope. Guess what? I don't want you to put 4 over 6. I need you to reduce the slope to the simplest form. So 4 over 6. Let's take half of 4 and let's take half of 6. So the slope is nothing more than 2 over 3. Guess what? You could put it on the calculator as fractions and you will get the simplest form. Now the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is right here. 1. Making your equation y equals 2 over 3x, automatically the x, plus 1. See that? Okay then. So now, let us do this. Is the slope of this line 3 over 2? No. Look at the line.
No.
Be quiet. Just go over there. Okay. So, definitely it's not 3 over 2. Because if it was 3 over 2 positive, it would go up like that. It's going down. But anyway, let's see. Let's see what the slope of this line is. Let's mark a nice point. I think this is a nice point. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The slope is -3 over 2. Ah, beautiful, right? Yep. Okay then. Now let's move on to the next exercise, okay? All right. Take a wild guess. It says, what is the equation of this line? Sure. Well, let's see. Let's identify the slope of this line. So the slope of this line, let me see. I need a close-up. Okay. Okay, you try to do it first. So, yeah.
My name is Rich Labranti. I'm 40 years old and I live in Andover, Massachusetts. I'm a financial advisor and partner of Global Labranti Financial Group. Myself and my business partner.
All right. So, what is the slope? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4 up and 2 to the right. Wow. Let me see again. 1, 2. Oh, and 1 to the right. So it's 2 over 1. Okay.
Growing up, though, there was music on every day in my house.
Bueno, he quiere. Let me see. And the slope and the y-intercept is
I love all kinds of music. I mean, I could
-3. Man, it took me a, listen to me. You see it nice in the camera, but the way I'm seeing it and the way I need glasses, damn. Okay. Whew. So now, oh, the equation. Psh, the equation is, no, you're gonna tell me now what the equation is. If you tell me, I give you 2 points. Hello? Okay. Whoever said that, you got 2 points on me. Alright? Got you. Alright. This is the hardest one. I need to write the equation of this line. Barely, okay? Right now, I am going to just do it looking at the graph. But later on, we're actually going to figure out what it is. So let's see, the slope is negative because it's going down like this. All right? Think about your health. If it's going down, it's negative. If it's going up, it's positive. So let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so negative 4, right? The slope is negative 4 over 5. And the y-intercept. Well, let's zoom in on this thing because I cannot see. I cannot see it like that. Okay. It looks like it's not exact. So let's see now. 1, 2, it's like 2.5. Sure, why not? The y-intercept is negative 2.5. All right. I was hating the music. All right. So y equals. Okay. So what would be the equation of this line if I have this information? Like that, right? Sure. Anyway, let me zoom out because we need to have more access to this. And let me see. Okay, so that's the end of your lesson on lesson number 5. And this is your quiz. Okay? So quiz number 5. Quiz number 5. It says solve the following equations for y and state the slope and y-intercept. All right, let me solve this for y. How do you solve for y? Get rid of the loose number, get rid of the x, and divide by the number on the y. Okay, so the loose number is already on the other side. So now I just gotta get rid of the x term. So let me take it here. Give it back to me. Thank you. So now this is what? Negative 20x, right? And of course, I didn't do anything to the loose number, so it stays like that. Now, divide by the number on the y. Okay. So over 2, and over 2. So what do I get here? Negative 10x plus 5 over 2, remember? I mean, not 5 over 2, but I divided by 2, so everything gets chopped in half. Okay. Here. Solve for y and state the... Oh, wow. Solve for y and state the slope and y-intercept. Sure. So to solve for y, get rid of the loose number, get rid of the x. So, boom, here, take it. All right, now give it back to me as soon as I tell you. Okay, give it back to me. Thank you. So it's negative 3x plus 1. And now I'm going to divide by 9. In this case, I know it's not going to be perfect, so I will go ahead and just divide by 9. Okay, so 9 divided by 9, you already know. Negative 3 over 9, you put this as a fraction in the calculator, and you're going to get negative 1 over 3. Always do that. Always check. If the calculator gives you back the same thing, then you cannot reduce it. Plus 1 over 9. And that's it. Don't tell me you're going to be able to reduce this. All right, cool then. Solve for y. And state this. Oh, wow, wait, hold on. And state the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, sorry. You know what the slope is right here. You know what the y-intercept is. Okay, so solve for y. So get rid of the loose number. Now take this x here. Thank you. See how I'm teaching you how to skip steps, and hopefully you understand that. Oh, give me back the x, please. Give me back the x. Thank you. So you give it back to me. And now plus 18, because I didn't do anything to the 18. And now, what's the last step? Divide by the number on the y. So this is going to be negative x over 2 plus 18 over 2. Notice that I'm going to take it step by step. Okay, so now y equals, this is negative 1x. So then this is going to be negative 1 over 2x. Hopefully you understand that. And this is 9, right? Cool. So the slope is, and the y-intercept is, and you tell me, I'm not gonna tell you. All right. Find the slope and how was it obtained? All right. So I could do it in two ways. I could find out what the points are, like this point is, and I'm gonna zoom in, okay, this point is 1, 2, 3, -3, -1. So I have point -3, -1, and I have point 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I have point 3, 3. Okay? So now, if I want to do it algebraically, all I gotta do is label them, right? X, Y, X, Y. 1, 1, 2, 2. So let's do the formula for the slope. You subtract the y's over subtract the x. So y2 minus y1. 3 minus -1, you see that? Over 3 minus -3. Okay, you could always put this in the calculator and the calculator will give it to you as long as you put it as a fraction. You want me to show you, don't you? Okay, I can show you, but let me just do it manually first. Alright, when you have two signs like this, I would love for you to just multiply the signs and just write one single sign. So negative times negative is positive. So in reality, what I have here is 3 plus 1. Negative times negative is positive. So what I have here is actually 3 plus 3. So then I have 4 over 6, which reduces to 2 over 3. Okay? Now let's see if it's true. Let's do this. Alright, so we're gonna zoom out. So we're going to use fractions. So what we're gonna do is gonna press alpha y equals, see, alpha y equals, press enter. Now we have the fraction. So I'm gonna enter the fraction that I wrote before. 3 minus -1. Okay, no problem. 3 minus -1. 3 minus is one thing on the calculator and negative is another thing. Okay? Over 3 minus -3. Now watch what happens when I press enter. 2 over 3. Boom. See, simplified. 2 over 3. Anyways, so that's algebraically, but in reality you could just figure it out by looking at it. Look. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 over 6 turns into 2 over 3. So that's your slope. So how was it obtained? That's up to you. Okay, it's your prerogative. I counted from one point to the other. I saw that the rise was 4, then the run was 6, and then I reduced the fraction, and in reality it was 2 and over 3. Or I used the slope formula. I calculated what each coordinate was, and I figured out what the slope was. I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as you give the what do you call that? A logic process. Yeah, that's it. All right. So state the slope and y-intercept and how was it obtained. All right. So the slope is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The slope is -4 over 5. The y-intercept is -1, 2.5. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just giving an estimate, right? Okay. All right. I am not doing this for you. You do it on your own. I did most of the quiz. Hopefully, if you watch this, then you get access to the quiz. If not, then good luck. Bye-bye.